Hey guys, and welcome to this webinar on self-doubt. So what I want to cover straight away is self-doubt can feel like a bit of a negative topic, but what I'm going to try and focus on today is bringing it back to what we can control and what we can't, but understanding where self-doubt comes from and kind of a couple of things that you may have had self-doubt with, and then hopefully some tips in terms of how to get around it. So when it comes to feelings of self-doubt, are they normal? Does every single person experience feelings of self-doubt within some point of their lifetime? Yes. So let's normalize it straight away. Let's not put too much pressure on ourselves that we're the only one experiencing feelings of doubt, uncertainty, worry, even as far as some anxiousness around certain things, okay? It is completely normal. Do you want to know why? Because most of us care about the thing that we might be doubting, or we care about the person, we care about the experience we're going to have, we care about things sometimes being too perfect, and that's when perfectionism can come in, but fundamentally we care, and self-doubt is normal for most of us. When we come on to is self-doubt needed, what I want to touch on here is, from my point of view, it's a yes and a no, okay? Because a little bit of self-doubt, I think, normalises us as people. It makes us more empathetic. There's that fine line between, say, confidence and arrogance, and doubting yourself in certain actions, certain behaviours, the way that you are with people, or certain events that may be coming up, shows that you goes back to being normal. Shows that you're a normal person, you care about certain things, and you're not too based on like the ego and arrogance side of life. So for me, a little bit of self-doubt is not a bad thing so long as we can harness it, okay? So needed perhaps isn't necessarily the perfect word for that, but understanding that feelings of self-doubt are completely normal. Feelings of self-doubt will come up in certain points, potentially to make you slight hesitation to make a better decision, to pause before you act. So yes, it can be needed in some situations. No, we want to try and develop and move away from it in others. And that brings me on to, are feelings of self-doubt changeable? Can we perhaps improve our feelings towards certain parts of ourselves and our own lives? 100% yes, we can, okay? It's completely changeable. It's understanding why you're doubting yourself within that context of that situation, and then what can we do to strip that back and develop a little bit of confidence within that situation. So I'm going to read off this quote straight away, then I'm going to come back to it. Self-doubt occurs when we lack confidence or feel incapable of doing things we need to do. People who doubt themselves experience uncertainty around things they can't control, or worry about things that that won't go to plan, okay? So I'm going to underline that as well. So keywords from there, okay? People who doubt themselves experience uncertainty, perhaps hesitation, around things they can't control, or we worry about things not going to plan. I suffer with feelings of self-doubt, or I experience, I'm not going to use the word suffer, sorry. I experience feelings of self-doubt every single day. Feelings of imposter syndrome, feelings of comparison, comparing myself, that being the thief of joy, specifically imposter syndrome. Why am I stood in front of this camera talking to you? What gives me the right to feel like I can talk to you about self-doubt and it can help you? It's taken me 3 days to film this video because I was going, oh, what about this? Shall I touch on this? Shall I touch on that? And then I boiled it down to a couple of key points, 3 words: normal, needed, changeable, self-doubt. This quote, and then I'm going to run through a few examples. And I decided to own the fact that I am your coach. I'm a person that you look up to for mindset advice, psychological advice, training advice, nutritional advice. And this is a topic that I can cover, and it's a topic that most of you will know that I've more than experienced in terms of a number of things that have happened over the last few years. So feelings around, worrying about things that you can't control, that for me is the key part of this entire sentence, okay? the uncertainty of what we can't control. Now, it's not as simple as me going, you know, my kind of mantra, focus on what you can control, you can change it, you can improve it. You know, that shorter line of if you can worry about what you can control and bin off everything that you can't. It's not as easy, it's not as black and white as that. There's an area of grey. There's an area of grey, things that creep in that we will worry about, that we will care about, that we will hesitate on. We will think about the perfect plan and making sure that things go to plan, and potentially getting stressed, anxious, or doubting ourselves when they don't. But it's important to understand what areas of that have fallen out of your control, what's changed, but rather than focusing on that, it's acknowledge it, park it, what can you do about it? Fundamentally, you know, we are in control pretty much of 100% of what we do, okay? Especially our thoughts, okay? We are in control of them, and it's about setting, you know, dealing the deck in your favour. So when we come to examples, if we focus on these first ones here, you know, going through a diet phase, training, online coaching, lots of you will have probably experienced feelings of self-doubt towards whether you can achieve what you want to achieve. You know, is Beth asking too much of me with these goals? Can I do it? Can I stick to the training plan? How can I change my diet? Can I stick to this? Can I stick to that? And it's because we're looking at trying to stick to things absolutely perfectly, number one. But number two, it's because we're trying to make a change that we care about. We're trying to make a change for ourselves. For some of you, it would have been really, really hard to just decide to make a change for yourselves. Decide to put yourself first. Decide to step into the world of coaching. And then doubting whether you're good enough to succeed in that, whether you're almost good enough to be coached. These kind of feelings, I know that they go on. And what I want to say is, how much do I talk to you about your diet, that 80-20 rule, nailing what we need to pay rent on, focusing on that protein, focusing on foods that you can control in the day. If you're away at a weekend, just pick your battles. Perhaps you're going out for dinner, use the 2 of 4 rule. Starter, main, dessert, alcohol. Have 2 of 4, have as much as you like of those 2 of 4. Little things like that. They're wins that we can control, which means our self-doubt about going away for the weekend, our self-doubt about being able to handle a meal out becomes smaller. And it also boils down to things like knowing that you can have a meal out, that it doesn't change anything. It's one day. You know, one hot day doesn't make a summer. Just like one day of perhaps overindulgent with food, alcohol, high calories, no training, doesn't ruin the entirety of your online coaching process. Doesn't worry the entirety of your health and fitness journey, okay? So it's remembering what you can control. If you lose control on a day, bring back control on the next day. Don't doubt that losing control means you've ruined everything. That's when we cycle back through. It's not needed there. We don't need self-doubt on that day because we've got the tools to make a change. Other things that we might doubt ourselves with: work, family life, children, finances, all these things that we can, you know, are we going to make a change job-wise? Should we make a change job-wise? I wonder what the kids are doing. How do I bring up my kids? Do they go to this school? Do they go to that school? And it all boils down to, number one, doubting those decisions is normal, because if you went straight into them and didn't weigh things up, you'd potentially not look at the whole situation. So sometimes self-doubt gives us that chance to put the handbrake on and think about the decisions. What can we control? What can't we control? And then knowing that those feelings towards it are changeable, assessing how you're feeling. Why is that self-doubt coming in? Own that for a short period of time, but then step away from the negative and change it. Change it for the positive. How can we harness that doubt and bring out that confidence? It's like the doubt being the stem, the confidence being the flower at the top, blossoming at the top. And you can all do that with your diet, with your training, with your coaching, with work, with kids, with money, with whatever is going on in your lives. I realise I'm talking probably a little bit quickly here, but it's a topic I'm super passionate about. And one thing is a line from the military: no plan survives first contact. Okay, it's about creating a lifestyle, it's about creating habit change, it's about creating a mindset, so that if something does scupper us, the gym's closed, for example, during lockdown, that's not on the plan for your training, your coaching, or how you're going to run your kind of calories in, calories out. So that's kind of the first contact coming in. Boom, gyms are shut. How can we adapt, improvise, adapt, overcome? Zoom coaching, online coaching, following a program, buying yourself kit. These are all things that in that period of doubt, we can change for a positive, okay? So it's remembering no plan survives contact. It's about equipping yourself with the tools necessary to overcome whatever changes happen to every aspect of our life. Understanding that if we can't control it, what we need to do is understand we might have doubt about it, we might have worry, we might be concerned about the uncertainty, but own it for a second, work out your feelings, talk to somebody like your coach, like myself, and then move forwards with it. Use the self-doubt as just the right amount of hesitation to assess what direction you go in. Look at it as that slight handbrake. Look at it as kind of amber at traffic lights. You're just thinking, what way should I go? The green comes in, we've used that self-doubt, we've harnessed it, we're good to go again. So that's kind of my little short snippet on self-doubt. I hope it helps. If you've got any questions on this topic, please do shoot me a message. If you liked the video, the extra passion that comes with the mindset stuff, let me know.